Hey, salut à tous, c'est The Crow Omenes. Aujourd'hui, on se retrouve pour la suite de Steelrising. On s'était laissé après la combat d'un boss assez chiant, mais c'est pas grave, on a réussi à le battre. Maintenant, alors, si je me trompe pas, on devait aller voir. Allez, à la rencontre des cavaliers. Mais la question c'est où est-ce que je peux aller voir les cavaliers? Ah, je commençais d'abord par ça. Ah, je pense ça. Oula, moi qui regarde pas. Oups. Ah, on se casse, on se casse, on se casse. Casse-toi. Ah, faut savoir. Alors, il y a rien ici. Là, oui. Quoique, si je monte. Non. Alors, voyons. Raté. Et comment faire pour aller voir les invalides? Faut sûrement avoir moyen d'aller trouver une porte. Je sais pas, un mécanique ou aller de l'autre côté. Enfin, trouver un moyen d'aller par là. Parce que là, c'est fermé. Mais de l'autre côté, il y a. Ok. Non, 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 je suis con en fait. J'aurais pu très bien passer de l'autre côté, faire en même temps la quête principale et puis après basta. Bon bah reste plus qu'à refaire le tour. Non, c'est pas par là. Oula. Ouais, j'aime pas quand il freeze. Pas quand il bug. Alors, clé boîtier, ça c'est bon, c'est nice. Donc, passer par là. Non. Allez. Mais oh, il me fait chier l'autre con. Oh, c'est merde, mécanique de merde. Espèce de putain de machine de merde. Alors, clé à moitié, c'est bon. Donc, si je me foire, je referai le tour. Ok, c'est bon. Alors, ici.
I'm getting closer to Les Invalides. Here, I should be able to cross the moat easily.
Alors, que dit la carte? Ah, ah bah c'est parfait. Ah, ok. Alors, il y a un truc par là, allons voir ce que c'est. J'espère que le robot il est vivant. Non, en fait, c'est bon, il est mort. Et j'ai toujours pas compris à quoi sert le creuset de front. Franchement, si vous savez à quoi ça sert, dites-le moi dans les commentaires. Hein, parce que là, je suis un peu perdu. Ah, je sais pas trop quoi faire avec. Et hop là. Faut toujours bien chercher hein, quand il y a un truc qui est caché. Hein?
The debt was no longer sustainable, Your Majesty. Your mechanical revolution has changed the face of the kingdom, but the coffers are woefully empty.
The debt, Monsieur Necker. This debt that you and your banking friends helped to create for your own benefit, and which is now forcing us to levy new taxes? Will my subjects be able to bear another tax?
Yes, Your Majesty, as long as it is distributed fairly. The representatives of the nobility, the clergy, and the Third Estate must come to an agreement. That is why we have convened the Estates General. Tomorrow you are to preside over the opening ceremonies.
Your Estates General. Nothing good can come of it. You have roused the spirit of rebellion. All I hear about are their damned cahiers de doléances. My rightful enjoyment is being challenged. The streets of Versailles are teeming with loudmouth fanatics with sacrilegious thoughts. Tell me, Monsieur le Ministre, have you purposely set this army of the unwashed against me?
Your Majesty, I have always been your most faithful servant.
Beware, Necker. Beware. I have a surprise in store for anyone who dares attack my throne.
Tu m'étonnes que tout le monde veut sa tête. Et bon, si après je peux lui casser la gueule. Hein. Oh merde. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bordel? Ah, oh la vache. Oh putain, vous avez vu la vie qui m'a retiré? Ça, il a pas l'air il a pas l'air si dur que ça. Enfin, du moins je pense. Ouch. Oh merde. Oh la vache. Ouch. Faut pas être gourmand là. Et bim, petit temps détruit.
Suzanne, my dear Suzanne, take my hand, please. Don't let them take me away. No. Oh no, this has to stop. I don't want to be tormented anymore.
That is not my intention. I have come to rescue you.
Rescue me? But what on earth are you?
It is of no importance. What did you see and hear before you regained consciousness?
I had frightful visions, rageful wraiths filled with pain and sorrow. And it was cold enough to curdle the blood. Oh, it's impossible to describe. All the rage and anger. I was in another body, I think. So big, so powerful. And there was this commanding voice, ordering me to spread terror and death. Did I really hear it? Or did I momentarily lose my mind?
Who are you, monsieur?
Don't you know? I'm Jacques Necker, Ministre des Finances. Well, I was before I was captured. But this situation suggests that the king has decided to dismiss me from his service.
What does he accuse you of?
My alleged connivance with the Third Estate, no doubt. And, most of all, for having been the first to us to convene the Estates General.
How and when were you captured?
When the machines attacked, my wife and I fled our home to hide not far from there, in the Église Sainte-Marie. But we didn't stand a chance against the machines. They overran the nave, wantonly mowing down the faithful. My wife, my poor wife, she wasn't able to escape. I'm sadly convinced of this. As for me, my life was spared only so I could be tormented. What is the meaning of all this?
What will you do now?
There is no future for me in this kingdom. I need to find a safe place where I can prepare for my departure as soon as possible.
I will take you to the Cordelier convent. You will be safe there.
À la bonne heure, she's back.
Aegis, what a joy and relief to see you again.
Monsieur,
Welcome to our stronghold. I'm sure that everyone here is aware of the great debt we all owe you. As you can see, the most exhausted among us are growing stronger.
While the most determined are already planning our counterattack.
I did not expect to see you all together.
4 days ago, the representatives of the Third Estate gathered in a tennis court. They swore not to separate until they had established a constitution for the nation. But that was not the only oath we swore. All the honorable men who were at Versailles, representatives and patriots, members of the Club Breton, secretly swore to meet here if they were dispersed.
You, Aegis, have allowed them to gather once again. Though unfortunately many are missing, we still have hope.
Why did you choose to meet in this convent?
It was my idea. Voyez-vous, I stay here whenever my obligations bring me to Paris. No other retreat inspires such peace and contemplation. Et puis, truth be told, this building has always felt like a fortress to me. Just look at how thick these walls are.
For 2 whole days, the patriots in the quarter consolidated the outer walls to make it an impenetrable citadel. No automat has broken through our defenses yet.
Where are the monks, mon père?
They are secluded in their quarters, praying for the salvation of the people of Paris. However, we bear no illusions. We are weak, we are divided.
And we are unarmed. Without you, without your warrior strength, we have no chance of turning things around.
You are sent by heaven above, Aegis. From now on, you may consider the Cordelia Convent your headquarters and a welcome refuge.
We must speak, you and I, in private, if you please. Monsieur de Lafayette must not hear a word of what I'm about to tell you.
What do you mean? You all seem to be certain that I will use my strengths to serve your cause. Are you forgetting that I have a task to accomplish?
Not at all, madame. We all know and support your plan to free Monsieur de Vaucanson. That is why I've taken the time to think of a way for you to get to the Bastille.
I am listening.
There is a patriot in Paris whose pamphlets have aroused Monsieur de Lafayette's ire. His anger is so strong that the poor man had to disappear to escape arrest. I know that he is secretly hiding in the quarries in Montmartre. A labyrinth he is said to know like the back of his hand. If anyone can help you navigate the obstacles that keep you from the Bastille, it is the elusive Monsieur Marat.
Very well. I will go and find him. Monsieur Necker,
I owe you my life, madame. So I'm embarrassed to ask you for anything more.
do not fear. You have my full attention.
Suzanne, my beloved wife. I cannot bring myself to accept her death. Despite all the evidence, I still hope to see her alive again. I need to be sure. Mon Dieu. What have I done to deserve such a fate? Why has the king sworn to destroy me? And all that I hold dear. After everything I've done for him. My abnegation.
Why would the king owe you anything?
I dedicated my life to the kingdom as his minister. Well, my life and my fortune as well. I refused to accept any remuneration for my services in order to keep the accounts balanced. And I personally filled the king's coffers with 2.5 million livres from my own private accounts. Bonds in the Caisse d'Escompte, which the king keeps in a tailor-made armoire de fer in the Palais des Tuileries. He stores all his secrets there. I'd wager there's enough in there to sully his reputation 100 times over. You must retrieve these bonds post-haste, madame. They must not be used to allow this madman to build more murderous automats.
Do I have any chance of opening it?
Don't even think about it, madame. Despite your incredible strength, that safe is said to be impenetrable. It was designed precisely to that effect. I personally never had access to it. I suppose that its contents were too unofficial for the honest minister that I always was.
Who has the key?
The king does, that's for sure.
Anyone else?
How could I know? His shadow advisors, most likely. Now that I think about it, there's a rumor that has been going round at Versailles for a while now. It's said that Monsieur de Mirabeau used to come and go as he pleased at the Tuileries, that he oversaw diplomatic missions for the crown. Not in any official capacity, of course. Who knows? He might know more about this matter than I do.
I will ask him. I will look into what happened to your wife.
Bless you, madame.
Where should I start my investigation?
In the Faubourg Saint-Germain, east of Les Invalides. We were separated in the Église Sainte-Marie, on Rue de Bourgogne.
I shall be off.
You are the only hope of seeing my beloved wife again, and of foiling the plans of the clockwork tyrant.
Bon bah on va faire un petit tour. Alors qu'est-ce que ça dit? La belle Gabrielle, le 25 du mois avril 1789. Au marquis de Lafayette, mon cher époux, comme convenu, j'ai reçu ce matin à sa descente du bateau Monsieur Mercier, directeur du jardin botanique, et j'ai trouvé en bien triste état après sa longue traversée. Il est pourtant tenu à visiter l'exploitation avant de me faire part de ses remarques avisées. Il a jugé le sol excellent et a recommandé que l'on bâtisse des pépinières où l'on plantera 500 jeunes girofliers. Il conviendra de construire des échelles pour la récolte, ainsi des séchoirs et des magasins. Faites-moi savoir au plus vite, mon cher cœur, si ces dispositions vous conviennent. Je me languis de vous, espère de tout mon âme, vous revoir à cette terre lointain qui nous est si chère. Adrienne. Oh, c'est mignon. Ah. Ah bah merde, je voulais... Bon. Ah, s'il y a une mission à faire, autant la faire. Ah, merde, non, c'est pas... à l'intérieur. Qui sont l'esprit, la finesse, l'audace et la ténacité lorsque sont employés à la faveur du bien commun. Le peuple n'oubliera pas qu'il a une année, Monsieur Necker a mis en place un pacte de famine organisant en annonçant à l'été 1788 la menace d'une 17 prochaine. Il a délibérément provoqué la cherté du pain, puis prenant cette inflation pour prétexte, il a privé les boulangers de la liberté de s'approvisionner à leur guise et au monopole public. Oh, c'est pas cool ça. Et voici, cher lecteur, comme notre philanthrope a accaparé tous les graines du royaume pour en faire un profit pour en faire profiter ses complices à des fins d'agiotage. Dans ce complot est trempé ses amis ministres, grands seigneurs, chefs de la quoi? Oh, punaise. Bon, tant pis. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'il va me dire?
Monsieur de Mirabeau,
Have your efforts paid off?
Minister Necker claims that you were a familiar face at the Tuileries Palace.
That old story. Will it hound me until I have drawn my last breath? This, madame, is nothing but an unfounded rumor that I am trying in vain to dispel. To what do I owe the displeasure of having to defend myself once again?
I must get hold of some documents that are kept in an armored safe in the King's chambers.
What luck could resist your talents?
Minister Necker said it was indestructible.
Oh, I see. Well, let me think. Who could help you? After all, a lock is nothing more than a simple mechanism. Nothing that can resist the expertise of our dear Monsieur Bailly. Why don't you ask him for help?
I'll be sure to do so.
Now, who else might be of use? Oh, there's Monsieur Lavoisier as well, our gunpowder commissioner. If he were here, I'm sure he'd have no trouble finding you something you could use to blow the door off that stubborn safe.
Sadly, he's still at Luxembourg.
Then it is high time you rescued him, madam. Now, if you'll forgive me, I have an urgent matter to attend to.
You are forgiven for everything.
In that case, it has been a pleasure, madam.
Has anyone seen Monsieur de Mirabeau?
Aegis, a word, s'il vous plaît.
Alors... Déchiffrer les notes.
Monsieur Bailly,
Mademoiselle, I am very pleased to find you here with us within the shelter of these walls.
I found a document written in a script that I was unable to read.
Let me see. Je vois. These pages were written using some sort of shorthand. A variation on Taylor's system, no doubt. I'm wont to use it myself from time to time while jotting down my ideas as they come.
What does it say?
It's a bit difficult to decipher. Je crois. I believe it's an autopsy report. The author writes that the subject died from a large dose of prussic acid.
What is prussic acid?
My apologies, Aegis, but I'm no chemist. You should ask Monsieur Lavoisier.
I'm looking for a way to force a lock that is supposed to be unbreakable. Monsieur de Mirabeau advised me to ask you for help.
But I'm an astronomer, mon enfant, not a locksmith. I know my way around lenses, filters, racks, and tripods. But I've never given a moment's thought to how a lock works. God, Monsieur de Mirabeau was joking with you, that's all. Où est-il, ce brave homme? So that we might ask him.
He has left. A matter that could not wait.
Excuse me? Do you mean he left the convent? That's madness. What was so important that he would put himself in such danger?
Intriguing indeed.
Je suis sûr que le mec qui s'est barré, c'est un sale connard qui a voulu prendre tout le pognon qu'il y a dedans. Oh putain, si ça tenait qu'à moi, j'aurais laissé se démerder pour voir ce coffre. Mais bon, ça me permet de progresser dans l'aventure et de jouer le bon samaritain, je dirais pas non. Alors, où est-ce que je dois aller?
Aegis, a
Trouver la
word,
caisse.
s'il vous plaît.
Oui.
Monsieur Raymond,
Aegis, we are very pleased to see you again. It was very unwise of us to leave the Société without such a capable bodyguard as yourself. It is a miracle that we got here safely.
what do you want to talk to me about?
Have you ever heard of the Club de Massiac, Aegis?
No, monsieur.
It's an association that meets at the Hotel de Massiac, just west of Les Halles. It counts some of the wealthiest plantation owners in the Empire. Those from Saint-Domingue and the Petite Santé are most formidable adversaries. They are waging a war of influence to keep the slave trade going, and resort to the vilest methods to achieve their ends. They worship nothing but money, and their greed is matched only by their cruelty. Regrettably, my interests occasionally require me to suffer their company. 2 months ago, I was in Le Havre to settle some business with the Admiralty, when I overheard a conversation between 2 planters from Bastère. If they are to be believed, the Club de Marcillac is plotting to create sleepless slaves, des esclaves sans sommeil. Those were their exact words. It's hard to say what this could possibly mean, but I fear they plan to administer some foul drug to their slaves to force them to toil day and night, without rest. Our organization will not let these poor souls endure such a hell. Aegis, we must look into this. It is a matter of great urgency.
You speak of greed, Monsieur Raymond. But could you enlighten us as to what makes you any different from the planters you condemn?
What exactly do you accuse me of, Monsieur de Robespierre? S'il vous plaît, do tell.
Do you not also exploit the labor of these poor souls yourself on your indigo plantation?
I fight every minute of every day to improve their condition. No one would have the audacity to deny this.
If that's the case, then why wait? Free them. You preach abolition, yet you continue to line your pockets at their expense. The truth is, you refuse to upend the established colonial order because your entire fortune depends on it.
It's easy to criticize from atop Mount Olympus, Maximilian. You know nothing of the realities of Saint-Domingue. What would happen to all these people if I freed them tomorrow? Without an education, without a livelihood, I would be condemning them to the most abject misery. No. I must act with both compassion and realism.
It is true that every reform must be approached with prudence. This reform is not so difficult. I've begun it myself at La Belle Gabrielle, my plantation in Guyane. There you will not find slaves, but workers who earn a weekly wage. And my plantation is no less profitable.
Ah, yes, profit. Because that's the most important thing. Don't you see, the law of nature gives every man the right to cultivate his own land.
Monsieur, calm yourselves. I implore you. Now is no time to quarrel. What Monsieur Raymond has related to us is extremely worrying. We must find out more about this plot to create sleepless slaves as quickly as possible. Aegis, you are the only one who stands a chance of making it to the Hôtel de Marcillac alive.
Eh ben dis donc, sacré quête secondaire que je dois faire. Bon alors, on va commencer par trouver la cachette d'Athénaïs. C'est parti. Mais avant tout, une petite amélioration s'impose. Alors, qu'est-ce que je prends? Il y a augmentation de la vie, endurance. Peut-être l'endurance, ouais, comme ça au moins je pourrais peut-être avoir un peu plus. Non, 14, 5. Distance, ouais. Pas autre chose. Ah ok, je commence à piger. Par contre bonjour pour essayer de trouver des lagons de bronze, hein, parce que là, c'est chaud. Attends, quoique en boutique, est-ce qu'ils ont de nouvelles armes? Non. Baguette de Saint-Elme, non. 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 Hmm. Bon ben... C'est parti. Attends. Je pense avoir oublié quelques trucs. Pourquoi pas acheter aussi des potions de soins. Enfin des remèdes. Et on sait jamais. Hein. Mais faut faire le plein. Non, rien par là. Où est-ce que je pourrais y accéder? Ah. Voilà, un ennemi. Hmm. Ah. Ouf. Ce coup de chance. Ah.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. A constitution is the only
Ah.
thing that can protect us from royalty. That's why it's most valuable.
Ne jouez pas trop les petits malins avec moi. Ça marchera pas. Alors, est-ce qu'il y a un moyen de parler avec eux? Non. Autant essayer de la sauver. Il va sûrement avoir un passage. Un sac. Yes. Non, c'est pas par là. Ah, super. Comment j'ai fait pour passer par là? Ah, si, je pense. Peut-être en bas, non. Oh merde. Je suis sûr qu'il doit avoir un moyen de passer de l'autre côté. Oh putain non. Mais je suis sûr qu'il y a un moyen de l'autre côté, mais je sais pas où. Je sais pas où y aller exactement. Alors, que faire? Comment aller là-bas? Que dit la carte? Elle me dit rien. Génial. Trouver un moyen de passer par là. Ah, quoique. Est-ce que là ça peut le faire? Ah oui.
No. I must gather the 3 echoes.
Ah. Non, c'est pas par là. Ouais, qu'il me faudrait je crois qu'il faut que je trouve un peu plus d'écho que ça. Si je veux réussir à passer de l'autre côté. Non, pas cette fois-ci. Sérieusement? Ah, comment faire? Comment faire? Bah, je peux... Alors, comment faire? C'est dommage qu'il n'y a pas un truc de téléportation ou de voyage rapide. Ça aurait été plus simple. Ah, j'ai vu la tonne de capsules. Ouais, non. Comment faire? Comment faire? Pas possible, il doit avoir un autre moyen. J'ai peut-être trop fouillé la zone de boss, la zone. Peut-être qu'il doit avoir un moyen de grimper par-dessus ou aller de l'autre côté. Comment faire? Peut-être que je dois revenir plus tard. Ouais, ça va sûrement être ça. Ah merde! Bon bah on va s'arrêter ici. Hein. Pour la prochaine saison, on verra quel service on va faire. En tout cas, n'hésite pas à laisser un pouce bleu, un partage, un commentaire. Et que l'armée du corbeau s'agrandisse. Touchius!